A thermal camera is just like a visual camera, except that in place of pixels, it has little things called microbolometers that are sensitive to infrared radiation. The camera then takes that information and transfers it to a false color palette, which gives us the visual image. So the more radiation you have, the change of color occurs, and therefore we have a gradient that tells us how hot something is. Cameras are a great adjunct tool. They have the ability to sense temperature readily. So if somebody comes in with an elevated body temperature or suspected of having an elevated body temperature, it gives the employer an opportunity to do further testing, a secondary testing with a secondary device, in order to make sure that person doesn't enter the general population. If a person exhibits an elevated body temperature, it's protocol to separate them from the general population and do a secondary screening. That's done with a secondary thermometer, a temperature device of some sort, as well as asking them some questions. Very often it may be something as simple as they ran in from the parking lot because they were afraid of being late, or it could be hot outside. So we can help with the design and the engineering aspect of it, starting with some blueprints and some basic questions about what do you want to accomplish? How many people do you want to screen coming into your facility? One of the things that we would ask about is whether or not it's a one person at a time, low volume, or if we're looking at dozens or hundreds of kids coming in like to an elementary school. With that information and the floor plans, we can begin designing a system that will meet those needs. From there, we can create a budget, and from that budget, you can decide whether or not you want to move forward. Then we'd move to an on-site engineering platform. There's options for whether or not you want a permanent installation, like a school where you're going to have students coming in regularly for, say, 9 months out of the year, versus a once-in-a-while kind of scenario where you'd want to be able to either screen a particular area for an event or move that technology to different areas to capture different scenarios. So there's a temporary kiosk that we can set up with a cabinet, and we can also put together a permanent installation and have that readily available for anybody that wants to use it.